Check, check, check.
That's funny. I've been sitting here talking to a mic that's been on mute. I'm sorry, y'all. That's funny. All praise to the Most High for another Sabbath. All praise to the Most High for us being able to be here again. Y'all know what it is. My brother Yahwadah, and myself, Darash. This is Sound Doctrine, where we decide to, break down all of these. For real? Jesus. You didn't even turn it down. Bro, hit the volume. Oh. Gotta love Israel. Oh, man. But y'all know what it is. This is Sound Doctrine, where we bust down all of these doctrines to see whether or not they withstand the truth of the Bible. That's just what it is. So we done went through a bunch of stuff, from character, building the spirit up, from actual doctrinal teachings and understandings, prophecy, all of that good stuff. Today, we're going to talk about one. Shalom, we're going to talk about one that Israel's kind of split down the middle on. Some do it secretly. Some do it openly. Some say it's wicked. Birthdays. The sinful birthday celebration. Here's the question. Are birthdays a sin? Is it a sin to celebrate the day you were born? Is it a sin to celebrate your birthday? It's a good question. A lot of people ask the question. A lot of people try to reason as to why it's wicked, as to why it's not wicked. So we're gonna maneuver through these scriptures, and we're gonna see what the Bible says. Let me grab this real quick. All right. So what we're going to do first is what we always do. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 4.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 2. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law.
The scriptures tell you, I give you good doctrine. I give you the good teachings. Don't break my laws. Don't forsake my laws. Don't turn your back from the laws written in this book. The laws in this book will heal the community, will heal black and brown people, will heal the nation. Nobody's against that. And that's why the scriptures tell you, don't forsake it. Because the moment you forsake it is the moment we fall into those cursed conditions. The question is, well, will we be forsaking the law if we're celebrating someone's birthday? Give me the next one.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 3.
Timothy. I was like, that don't sound right.
Salakia, the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse.
Wait, I think it's 2 Timothy.
2 Timothy, goodness.
It's one of them nights. It's all good.
Here we go. We on point. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. But after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables.
So the day is going to come when the day is now, but the scriptures were telling you the time was going to come where people would not endure sound doctrine. The purpose of this class is to teach and promote and save souls in teaching sound doctrine, right? So tonight is one that we hear around Israel all the time. I don't celebrate birthdays. Birthdays are pagan. Birthdays are wicked. You in the truth, but you celebrating birthdays. Are you really in the truth? All of that good stuff, right? So let's get in these scriptures. Let's see what these scriptures say. So first thing I want to deal with is let's go to, so there's a number of scriptures that people go to, and they'll say, when we're talking about, well, we celebrate birthdays because, it's a celebration of life. Most High, he blessed me, whether it be he blessed me with a child. My child was born on this day. I want to celebrate it. Or he blessed me by allowing me to have another year on this earth. Brothers be like, well, the scriptures say, cursed was the day I was born. You read that in Jeremiah. Okay. Let's go to that scripture. So what I want to do is I want to analyze the scriptures that individuals bring out to say that you're not supposed to celebrate birthdays. Let's see what the scriptures say. Let's see if they say what you say it says, or if you just made it up. So let's start off with Jeremiah chapter 20. Let me get over there. Jeremiah chapter 20. Let's read verse 14. This is the one that this is one of the ones that they go to.
This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 20 verse 14. Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed.
So the scriptures say cursed was the day I was born. Well, is it saying that for every person that was born, cursed be that day? Is that what it's saying? Is it because they'll use this to say, see, we're not supposed to be celebrating birthdays because the scriptures say cursed was the day I was born. Well, that's stupid because the scriptures also talk about bearing children and children being born was a blessing. I'm confused now. What are we talking about? And this is the importance of reading the Bible in its context. Some people use the word context as a scapegoat because they're like, well, but you're using it out of context, when in reality, all you got to do is read 2 or 3 more verses and you can see it is in context. But a lot of individuals, these same individuals that will tell someone else to do this, when it comes to something they teach or believe, they won't practice that same rule. We got to read things in its context to get the proper understanding, to see what it's saying, right? Why did he say curse was the day he was born? He didn't say curse was the day every man's born. Curse is the birth of every person. It didn't say that. It said curse was the day I was born. I don't even have to bounce around the scriptures to show you what he's talking about. Read 14 again.
Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed. Verse 15. Cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father.
Come on.
Saying, a man-child is born unto thee.
Come on.
Making him very glad.
So he said, cursed was the day I was born. Cursed was the individual that told my daddy that he was going to have a son. Come on.
And let that man be as the cities which the Lord overthrew.
Come on.
And repented not. And let him hear the cry in the morning and the shouting at noontide.
He said, and that man that prophesied my birth, he needs to be cursed. Come on.
Because he slew me not from the womb.
Because you let me live and become an adult. Why? Read on.
Or that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb to be always great with me.
Right. So he said, man, it's a curse. It's a what's the word? It's a devastation that I'm even here. And curse my mom's womb. Curse the man that told my daddy that I was going to be born. Curse him for not killing me when I was born. Curse me for not being miscarried by my mama. Read.
Verse 18. Wherefore came I forth out of the womb.
Why did I come out of the womb? To do what?
To see labor and sorrow.
To see what?
To see labor and sorrow.
Read.
That my days should be consumed with shame.
That my days shall be. What is this talking about? Is this talking about, oh, cursed be me, curse was my birth because birthdays is wicked? No. Jeremiah is prophesying and foretelling about the siege that is about to befall Israel. And he's like, man, I wish I was never born because I don't want to endure this. I don't want to be in this. Cursed be my mama's womb. Because why do I have to endure this? I am not one of the wicked individuals here, but I'm about to go into captivity with the rest of these wicked individuals. This is not okay. Dag nabbit, if only I was not born. That's all that it's saying. It's not saying, you can't celebrate birthdays because Jeremiah even hated the day he was born. That's stupid. Because everybody gloried in the day Christ was born. People gloried in the day when Rachel had her first child, she was excited. Am I lying? Nah. What about Hannah? Samuel's mother. She couldn't get pregnant. When she had a kid, she was ecstatic. As a punishment to McCall, she couldn't have kids. What are we talking about? We love bearing children. That is a huge part of our culture. It is shameful for a woman to not be married and have kids. Curse was the day I was born. You ain't supposed to be celebrating. What are you talking about? The Bible never said that. Jeremiah is literally talking about what went on in that particular time. He is about to be going in. He's about to be watching the devastation of his people, the destruction of his people. He's saying, if only I was never born. Cursed to hell with the day I was born. Because now that I was born, since I was born, now I'm here. Now I got to deal with all of this. That's all that he's saying. Who you telling? I would have like, I would have said the same thing Jeremiah said. Even what's his name? Judas Maccabee. He said, it is better for us to die manfully than to behold the, what was the word that he used? For lack of better words, to behold the devastation, the destruction of our people. That's what he said. So he said, I don't want to be here to watch them do our people and our temple and stuff like this. So we're going to war. And if we die, we die. I'd rather die fighting than to live on my knees as a coward and watch all of this happen. Jeremiah saying the same thing. Why am I here? Why didn't this man kill me? Why wasn't I miscarried? Because now look what I got to endure. Look what I got to go through. Look what I got to watch. That's all that is saying. It's not that deep. It had nothing to do with birthdays. Let's go to another one. I'm sorry, no. Let's go to Psalms 127. Psalm chapter 127. To the point that's being made. Read, don't want to start at verse 1. Psalms chapter 127. It is. We can start. Let's start at verse 1.
This is the book of Psalm chapter 120. This is the book of Psalm chapter 127 verse 1. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain.
Let's drop down to verse 3.
Verse 3. Lo, children are an heritage of
children are an heritage. Children is something that's granted to you, a blessing to you. Of who?
Of the Lord.
Of the Most High. Come on.
And the fruit of the womb is his reward.
And having children is a reward. Bearing children, birthing children is a reward. Come on.
As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth.
Verse 5.
Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them.
A man's going to be happy when he's bearing children. Come on.
They shall not be ashamed.
Come on.
But they shall speak with the enemies in the gate.
So we're cursing. It's literally a blessing for us to have kids and bear children. What are we talking about? Cursed my birthday. What are you talking about? Shalom, sis. That doesn't make sense. That like, otherwise the Bible's now contradicting itself. And in one moment it's, well, he said cursed the day he was born, so he's cursing that. But in the next hand, it's a beautiful thing for children to be born. It's a blessed thing for it. So are we blessing it or are we cursing it? We gotta contextualize these things. Are we blessing it or are we cursing it? Right? And then to my point again, Samuel's mom was hyped when she had a kid. I'm drawing a blank right now. John the Baptist's mom, she was blessed with a child. Sarah was another one that was blessed with the child. The Most High said, I'm going to bless you with this child. McCall was cursed and wasn't able to have children. So why are we making it sound like the birth of a child is a bad thing? But then they'll circle around and say, well, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you celebrate the day of your birth, that's the bad thing. I'm celebrating the anniversary of the Lord allowing me to live another year. What are we talking about? It's a milestone. We'll get into that in a moment too. So the next thing, so first things first, Jeremiah 20, they talk about cursed was the day I was born. That's not what it's saying. Jeremiah was upset because his people were going into captivity. That's what was going on. And he had to sit there and watch it. That's what was going on. The other thing, Pharaoh had a birthday. And people, now it's this goes two ways. First thing is Pharaoh had a birthday and Herod had a birthday. You didn't see nobody else in the scripture have a birthday. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is Pharaoh had a birthday and Herod had a birthday, and on both of their birthdays somebody died. Those are the 2 points that are made, right? Let's go to Genesis 40, because I want to make sure I touch all of these scriptures that brothers and sisters utilize and bring out. Genesis chapter 40. Start at verse 20.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 40, verse 20. And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday.
The third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, come on.
That he made a feast unto all his servants.
Come on.
And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again. And he gave the cup unto Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to them.
So, first thing, Pharaoh's an Egyptian. That's a custom of the heathen. Israelites didn't, well, if you want to be technical, Israelites weren't even here yet. Israelites were not here yet. The sons of Israel were there, because clearly Joseph's here, but like we weren't a nation. We was Jacob, his 12 sons, and his wives. That's what was going on at this time. So, of course, we don't know what their customs were yet. We started finding out about the customs heavily in Exodus when the law started being given to us. So, I mean, what are we talking about? If you look, here's the thing. If you look into the scriptures, if we want to play this game, there's a lot of things in the scriptures that are not written out. But I can tell you one thing, there had to be some form of care, for lack of better words, of a man or a woman's birth, because we see that they kept track of people's ages. So in order for them to keep track of people's ages, they had to keep track of when that person was born. In order for them to know who was 20 years old and upward, in order for them to know who was 70 years and older, and Abraham was 100 years old, Adam was 925 years old. There's a reason they knew this stuff. Now here's the thing. Do we say you must celebrate birthdays? No, nobody teaches that. But but our thing is, if you're going to say that it's a sin, you have to show us, because people pick and choose when they want to use the true meaning of sin. People like to do this. Show me in the Torah that it's a sin. Show me it's against the law. Okay. I use that same logic, but I do you one better, and we stay consistent with this every time we bring it up. Show me anywhere in the Bible, because we believe you have to follow the whole Bible. Show me anywhere in the Bible that you cannot celebrate your birth. You cannot celebrate the milestone of becoming a year older or the Lord giving you another year. Because Genesis said somebody was killed. Okay. Christ was killed on Passover. But we're like, what are we talking about? I do you one better. Go to Tobit. I do you one better. And then they also talk about, I don't have to go to it, Matthew chapter 14, verse 6 through 12, Herod's birthday with John the Baptist. John the Baptist was killed on a birthday. The butler was, or the baker, whichever one, was killed, by the Pharaoh. So people died on birthdays in the Bible. So since they was dying, we see that the Lord had a dark undertone for birthday. That don't make sense. You just like made that up in your head. Well, go to Tobit, read Tobit. chapter 1. I'm lying. It's chapter 2. I done wrote down the wrong chapter. Chapter 2. Start at verse 1.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 2, and verse 1. Now, when I was come home again, and my wife Anna was restored unto me, with my son Tobias, in the feast of Pentecost, which is the holy feast of 7 weeks.
So they're celebrating Pentecost. Come on.
There was a good dinner prepared me, in the which I sat down to eat. And when I saw abundance of meat, I said to my son, Go and bring what poor man soever thou shalt find out of our brethren.
Come on.
Who is mindful of the Lord.
Come on.
And lo, I tarry for thee.
Read.
But he came again and said, Father, one of our nation is strangled and is cast out into the marketplace.
Somebody was killed on Pentecost. Like, there's certain arguments that when you make them, there's no way that you thought in your head this made sense. Because Pharaoh and Herod, on their birthday, somebody died. Somebody died on Passover. Somebody died on Pentecost. A gang of times we died in the wilderness. I don't know what feast day we could have died on, but let's not act like we didn't. I forgot what movie it was. He said niggas die every day, B. Paid in full. There's certain arguments that when you make them, they're very weak. You can't make the argument say in the Bible, the 2 times that it mentions birthdays, somebody died. So what? Who cares? So because of that, you can't celebrate it. That doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? Literally, just about every single day right now, people are dying. Every single day. People have died on Passover, around Passover. Christ died right after he ate the Passover the next day during unleavened bread. We can't keep unleavened bread. People dying on unleavened bread. What are we talking about? It doesn't make sense. If you're going to say something is wrong, unlawful, wicked, God doesn't care, show me in the Bible that he said that. Otherwise, you're adding to the book. People always talk about adding to the book. You are adding to the book. That's against the Bible. That in itself is against the Bible. So people will say, well, Pharaoh and Herod did it and somebody died on those days. That does not mean anything. That means that it shows you how God feels about birthdays. No, it doesn't. It was already prophesied by Joseph, this is going to happen to this person. And it just so happened on his birthday that happened. Herod, same thing. He was having a celebration on the day of his birth. And the whatchamacallit's mama, I can't remember the name right now, but the mom sent the daughter to seduce him. And he said, I'll give you whatever you want. It wasn't because it was his birthday he died. It wasn't because it was Pharaoh's birthday someone died. That's not even what happened. Stop lying Bible. Just say you don't want to celebrate it. That's perfectly fine. Nobody has ever said you wicked if you don't celebrate when you was born. That's dumb. No one's ever going to say that. But the stance is this. There's a number of situations in the Bible and in real life that people celebrate that was not ordained by God, but it's not a sin. For example, baby showers. For example, the birth of your child. For example, marriages. Those aren't, you don't have marriage feast. Thou shalt have a feast day after you have betrothed a damsel unto yourself and a ceremony is had. You don't have to. But if you choose to, all praises. Same thing. If the Lord has allowed me to become a year older and a year wiser in a world where most people that look like me and him and you don't make it to see 21, don't make it to see 25. Yeah, Malachi, you too. You was hiding though. Don't make it to see 30. If he blessed me with another year when this whole year 2 of my boys done died, One of my friends' kids done died. One of my parents done died. He blessed me with another year. Why would I not celebrate it? What are you talking about? That's against the Bible. What are you talking about? Show me in the Bible it's against the Bible. That's simple. Let's go to oh, this is a good one. I love this one. This one right here is a classic. The classic, the perfect example of people not understanding the Bible. Let's go to Job. Let's go to Job. I think I wrote that one down too. Give me a second. Let me do this real quick. What's the name of it? Job chapter 1. I want to do this real quick. I want to make sure that I keep up with you. Job chapter 1. Let's read verse 1 first.
This was the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job.
Come on.
And that man was perfect and upright.
So Job was a perfect and upright individual, right? Read.
And one that feared God and eschewed evil.
He feared God and he eschewed evil. He eschewed evil. That means he rebuked it. He avoided it. He made sure that other individuals avoided it. He was against it. Remember all of that about Job. Remember that. Drop down to verse 4.
Verse 4. And his sons went in and feasted in their houses.
His sons went in and feasted in their houses. Read.
Everyone his day.
Everyone had a feast on their birthday. See, they wicked. Read.
And sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them.
See, they wicked because they celebrating birthdays. Read.
And it was so. When the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning.
See, Job wouldn't prepare sacrifices for them because they were so wicked celebrating birthdays. So Job was trying to get pardon from the Lord for them for celebrating birthdays. This is what people teach. Job was righteous. Job had wicked kids celebrating birthdays, and Job went and gave sacrifices for his kids because they celebrated birthdays. That's what people teach. Read verse 1 again first.
There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job.
Come on.
And that man was perfect and upright.
Come on.
And one that feared God and eschewed evil.
One that feared God and eschewed evil. Let me do this real quick. Where is it? Eschewed evil. Eschewed. Sar, or it calls sewer. To turn aside, to turn into, to depart, to be removed, to come to an end, to turn aside. Let me go to the actual definition. Here it is. To bring, to call back, to decline, to depart, to go aside, to lay away, to leave undone, to pass, to pluck away, to put away, to rebel from, to remove, to revolt, to take away, to turn away, to withdraw, and to be without. If Job was this righteous individual who plucked away evil, who took away evil, who pushed away evil, who made sure evil was undone, as a righteous and upright man, why was he not rebuking his children for celebrating birthdays that was a sin? Because people will tell you it's a sin. But well, Job wouldn't offer sacrifices for them. What that don't mean that the Lord ain't going, I'm gonna take his sacrifice even though his kids keep celebrating birthdays, which is a sin. But I'm gonna hit you with something even colder. Go back to verse 4. Go back to verse 5. And let's see what he was really offering sacrifices for.
Keep reading. Verse 5, and it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all.
Come on.
For Job said...
So why is Job offering sacrifices? Read.
It may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed God in their hearts.
And did what?
And cursed God in their hearts.
And celebrated birthdays.
And cursed God in their hearts.
And cursed God in the... That's what Job was like, man. They was having a feast. They was married. They was probably drinking. Somebody probably got mad. I just want to make sure in the event that they cursed God or said anything sideways, Lord, I'm going to give a sacrifice for them. It had nothing to do with birthdays. Nothing to do with birthdays. Watch this, though. Read verse 4 again.
And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters.
Everyone in his day. That's our birthday. Watch this. We're going to grab a couple of different translations. Here is the NLT. Wait, let me make sure it's NLT. NLT, New Living Translation. A lot of Israelites use this one, so I'm using the ones that brothers kind of use. Job's son would take turns preparing feasts in their homes, and they would invite their 3 sisters to celebrate with them. That's what that one says. So they would prepare feast in their homes. That's what it is. Every person his day is referring to, it's your appointed day to have the feast. Back in the world, in Christianity, people used to have what? Sunday dinners. It's at Big Mama house this week. It's at cousin such and such house next week. You would do that every other week or every month. It doesn't say that it happened once a year. It said the day that they appointed it was the day that they could have been doing it once a month. They could have been doing it once a week. They could have been doing it semi-annually. They could have been doing it seasonally. We don't know. But they all had a time where they said, we're going to come together as siblings and feast together. It didn't say for a birthday. Watch this. Let's get another translation. Let's go. What do we have? NLT right now. Let's go to... What's the other one? People go to the GNT. GNT. Job's sons used to take turns giving a feast to which all the others would come, and they always invited their 3 sisters to join them. That's all that is. Watch this. I'll read verse 5. Was Job giving up? What was Job giving sacrifices for? The morning after each feast, Job would get up early and offer sacrifices for each of his children in order to purify them. He always did this because he thought that one of them might have sinned by insulting God unintentionally. That's why they was put to death, because they would celebrate birthdays. Is that why they got put to death? Let's read on. Go to read verse 5 and continue to read down.
And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning.
Come on.
And offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all.
Come on.
For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts.
That's what the sacrifice is for. Come on.
Thus did Job continually.
Come on.
Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them.
So now this is a spiritual meeting in the spiritual realm going on. We're going to find out why his children died. Come on.
And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Come on.
And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? And there is none like him in the earth.
Come on.
A perfect and upright man.
Come on.
One that feareth God and escheweth evil.
He said, you going around tempting everybody. Try out Job. Job is like all Madden. Job is like legendary or superstar on 2K. Job is extreme hard or extreme difficulty. Job is hardcore as opposed to playing core on Call of Duty. Like Job is that guy. You want to test him out. If you think you got something, try out Job. Come on.
Verse 9. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for naught?
He said, does Job fear or respect you for nothing? Does he just because it's God. He respect you? No. Read on. Watch what he says.
Hast not thou made a hedge about him?
He said, dude, you protecting him. How you expect me to put my hand on him and attempt him when you always looking out for him, God? That's not fair. Read.
And about his house, and about all that he hath on every side.
Come on.
Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land.
He said the only reason he worship you that like that is because you done gave him everything. Read.
But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face.
He said, how about you? You let me touch him up. You take away your protection from him, and I'll show you that he ain't as strong as you think he is in the faith. How about that, Lord? Let me try that out. Read.
And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power.
He said what?
All that he hath is in thy power.
Do what you want to him. Come on.
Only upon himself put not forth thine hand.
You can do whatever you want to him. You can touch up, destroy, burn down, break down, kill, whatever you want that belongs to him, but you cannot harm him. Come on.
So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord.
He said, bet. Let's go. Let me show you, Lord. I'm telling you, you think Job is all that? I'm about to show you, Lord. Watch this. Come on.
And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
Come on.
And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain their servants with the edge of the sword.
So now Job's tribulation now begins. Satan said, oh, I'm out of here. Let's go make this happen. So now his oxen and stuff has been taken. His servants have been slain except one. Come on.
And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Come on.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another.
Somebody, now one of his other servants or one of his other neighbors, come on.
And said, the fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
So one of his other servants in the other area said, Job, I don't know what happened. Everything just caught fire. Everyone and everything's dead except me. Come on.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, the Chaldeans made out 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away. Yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword.
So then the servants that was over there next to the Chaldeans, he said, man, they came over with 3 platoons, and they slew everyone and took everything. Come on.
And I only escaped alone to tell thee.
To be able to tell him, come on.
While he was yet speaking,
come on,
there came also another, and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
Read.
And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house.
Come on.
And it fell upon the young men.
Come on.
And they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee.
Now, did they die because they were celebrating birthdays? Why did they die? Because what? Because Satan had the power to do it to test Job, and the Most High said, you can do whatever you want. You just can't touch Job. So you know what he did? I'm going to kill your kids. I'm going to kill your cattle. I'm going to kill your servants. Only thing he didn't touch was him and his wife. Why he didn't take his wife? I don't know. Right, because she wasn't celebrating birthday. No. It didn't say why he didn't hit the wife. Well, actually, if you want to read the scriptures, what did he use the wife for? The one nearest to his bosom. What did he use the wife for? The temptation. She was the one that said, why don't you just curse God and die? She stayed alive so she could be the one to say those exact same words Satan told the Most High I could make him say. The one that is within his bosom, his rib. So she couldn't die. She was a part of the plan too. But he did touch her clearly to make her do that. So why are we reading this? Because people will use this passage and say they died for celebrating birthdays. That's not what happened. That's not, Job was giving sacrifices because they was, no, that's not what happened. There's like one Bible verse that says that, and that's like the ESV or the RSV or one of them modern retarded versions. It says, and they celebrated a birthday. The other translations don't say that. You know why? Because when you look in the Hebrew, it doesn't say that. It just says that person's day. Now, mind you, we see in the Old Testament, we see the word birthday, right? So if it was their birthday, they would have put it there. This was a day that they appointed to say, we're going to have the feast at your house this time. We're going to have the feast at your house this time. Like I said, growing up, especially in the black community, you had certain houses, or when you became an adult, because your parents wanted to keep you guys together, every third Sunday, we're going to spend time at my house and we're going to eat. Then the parent may die and it may start go over to the older sibling or the middle sibling to keep the whatever tradition going. That happens. It's not a sin to do that. I'm chilling with my family every couple of months, or every half year, or every other year, whatever it is. We come together, we sit down, we feast, we chill, we drink, we relax. Job said, okay, cool. Just in case y'all got into it, or you got mad and you slipped up and said something sideways and insulted the Most High, I'm going to give a sacrifice for that. He wasn't giving sacrifices because they were celebrating birthdays. So you're misrepresenting that scripture. They didn't die because they were celebrating birthdays. So you're misrepresenting that scripture. We have to stop lying on the Bible because we want to believe something. That's sin. You're adding to the Bible. That's wicked. So Job was one of them scriptures, and it was misused. Now, those are the scriptures: Jeremiah 20, Genesis, and Matthew, and Job. Now, am I missing one? Them is the main ones, right? If anybody, y'all can put it in the chat. Y'all can put it in the comments if there's a scripture that I'm missing. I want to make sure that I touch all of those scriptures that people bring out to say that celebrating birthdays is wicked. Now, the other thing, see, if you celebrating birthdays and you in the truth, you wicked. That's idolatry. That's self-worship. You see, even in the church of Satanism, they tell you that's their highest holy day. Birthdays. What is birthdays? Self-worship. You're right. Birthdays is self-worship in Satanism. Here's my question. When did the church of Satan or the religion of Satanism form? When did it become a thing? A little later. 1960. We're reading about birthdays 2,000, 4,000 years before that. So just because they shifted the meaning of a birthday, that ain't got nothing to do with us. That has nothing to do with us celebrating the day that we were born. They have turned it into idolatry. It's an Egyptian custom. It wasn't just the Egyptians that were celebrating their birth. See, because technically the Egyptians, they didn't celebrate their birth. They celebrated when the Pharaoh was crowned Pharaoh. So it was really the birth of a god. That's idolatry. Bro, they were not the only civilization celebrating quote unquote birthdays. Other civilizations were celebrating actual births. Just because the Egyptians wanted to do it that way, other people were celebrating it differently. What are we talking about? It's different if the Egyptians were the first person to do it. But they weren't. There's the Romans, the Greeks, Middle Eastern, the Arabs, all of them have some form of the celebration of the birth of a child. Even ancient Jews, they celebrate. That's what they would. What's that thing that the ISH people do? Bar mitzvahs and whatnot. Those are celebrations of somebody going into manhood or womanhood. We don't do that. That was something that was created upon their traditions later down the line. But the Jews were doing that. The Arabs were celebrating birthdays or the dates of births, whatever, however you want to word it, it wasn't just the Egyptians. So to make that argument doesn't make sense. That's a foolish argument. It's the Satanist, bro. Satanism is 60 years old. 3,500 years before that, they were celebrating birthdays. 4,000 years before that, they were celebrating birthdays. What are we talking about? Aleister Crowley was born in 1875. Anton LaVey was born in like 1925. The Church of Satanism was created in 1966. All of which was way after people were already celebrating birthdays. So trying to use these points don't make sense. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. No one's forcing you to do it. But when we're talking about what is sin, what is wicked, what is wrong, people like to pick and choose. This is, I'm not going to lie, this is what irritates me, and this is no shade to any brothers. You got people out there that are okay with brothers sleeping with prostitutes, brothers in the truth going to strip clubs. This isn't referring to the situation that most people know about, so I'm not taking a shot at them brothers. This is a completely different individual. In the truth, going to strip clubs around Halloween time, having concubines and sleeping around with them, brothers justifying beating up their wives. And y'all tripping on us because we say all praise to the Most High for another year. Hey, let's go eat. Hey, let's have a party. Let's have a feast because the Lord done blessed us. But people actually out here really sinning, transgressing the Sabbath. And y'all just like, well, you know, that's just their understanding. Well, this is just our understanding. And you can't show me nowhere in the Bible where we breaking anything in the Bible. I could show you all through the Bible where these individuals is breaking all type of stuff in the Bible. And that's what blows my mind. Because I'm like, y'all be bugging. You ain't really in the truth celebrating birthdays. You ain't really in the truth because your titties out. You ain't even modest, bro. What you talking about? Modesty is an attitude. Modesty is clothing too. I can see your panty lines and your tights, but you worried about me celebrating a birthday. I can see your whole front joint. I can see your whole camel toe, but you worried about me giving thanks to the Lord and celebrating Him giving me another year. For real? You wear skin tight clothes. If you insecure, just say that. No, you're dressed like a hoe. Scriptures literally talk about being modest. You dress like a hoe, but you worry about me celebrating birthdays. What are you talking about? You on your third husband, but you worried about me celebrating birthdays. How many sisters you done put away, bro? And it wasn't for fornication, but you worried about. Come on. Stop playing. Stop playing. Y'all keeping the feast days wrong. Well, you know, I don't really know how to do it, but that's the Lord, I have mercy. But you're worried about me celebrating, giving thanks to the Lord for giving me another year. I'm not sinning, you are. You worried about me. That's crazy. That's hypocrisy, bro. What are we talking about? And that's why everybody here knows. Everybody online knows. If I say something, I stand on business. I stand on all 10 of them. Whatever I say and whatever I teach, I stand 10 toes on it. Prove me wrong. Y'all wicked. Y'all keep the feast days wrong. Y'all celebrate birthdays. Y'all going off. You know what? Hey, watch this, watch this, watch this. Open up your Bible and show me then. I stand 10 toes on it. Let's talk about it. I don't really care to do that. Just shut up. Well, you know, it don't really matter to me. Then what you bringing it up for? You want to talk about sinning, bro? Come on, man. We stand on business over here. One thing can't nobody say about True Nation is that we don't stand on business and we don't talk about sinning. Not never. We have people see how much fun we have. People see we be joking. We get along with everybody. But when it's time to stand on business, everybody know we stand on business. That's why we say it all the time, and we give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. A lot of people are like, oh, that's such a, it's a small congregation people don't know about. Not really. We have congregations across the world. We have members across the country. A lot of you guys don't know us, but a lot of people that you guys watch, a lot of the people that you learn from watch our videos. And that's our thing is all praise to the Most High. It ain't no, oh, we're this. But the point is, we have the respect of a lot of individuals, and that's why a lot of people don't say. We may teach things differently, but nobody is saying anything against it because they're like, well, I can't really disprove that, so I won't say nothing. Again, the new moon lesson. Had a conversation with a brother that I've known since I've been in the truth. One of the brothers that contributed to me being in the truth. Me and him had a conversation, and he was like, it's very plausible. That's why you never hear me teach against it, because you got certain historians that says something about it too. I'm not going to, it would be foolish for me to speak against it. And I was like, to all praise to the Most High, I appreciated the fact that you was objective, bro. Because everybody else, y'all going off, y'all teaching it. Prove it. Show me in the Bible. Come on, bro. It's self-worship. It's the highest holy day of Satanism. All that stuff just came around. All that. You can't celebrate the new moon because the Arabs celebrate the new moon too, but they worship the moon. What that got to do with me? It's the same concept. They keep birthdays like this. What that got to do with me? People were celebrating birthdays before Aleister Crowley and all of them was born. People were celebrating birthdays concurrently when pharaohs were using birthdays as the birth of a god. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? We can't just make up stuff. We can't just add to, we have to stop caring about being right, and we have to start caring about what is actually right. We will remix all type of stuff to be right. Let's just look at the Bible and see what it says. And if you don't want to do it, it's fine. As long as the law doesn't say you must do blah, blah, blah. If you don't want to do it, hey, that's fine. But to teach that it's wrong or it's sin, you can't prove that. You can't show that nowhere in the Bible. And the history and the information you bring out is irrelevant because they were celebrating birthdays before that. Oh, it was of the other cultures. Bro, every single culture had some form of birthday celebration, at least in the Middle East. What are you talking about? Here's another one. You celebrating and worshiping yourself, or you celebrating and worshiping another man. Go to Proverbs 27. Proverbs 27. Let me show y'all something. Read that, verse 2.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 2.
Come on.
Let another man praise thee.
Do what?
Let another man praise thee.
Man, all praise to the Most High. This is a good brother. This is a solid brother. The Lord and gave him another year to live. Let's drink to that. Let's eat to that. Let's party to that. One person I would do that, but all of us already know. One person that I would do that for wholeheartedly is Bishop Tziyawan. I'd have a whole damn monologue for him, giving that man his flowers. All praise to the Most High. What's wrong with that? It's a righteous individual. What are we talking about? The Lord blessed you with another year, man. You've been doing your thing in a time where you could have been killed. A lot of people them been killed. I've been in this truth 9 years. You know how many people I grew up with in 9 years that done died? One of my closest friends when I first came into the truth, bro, I was in the truth. Tziyawan know him too, because he used to coach us when we was in middle school. I was in the truth for about 4 months, maybe. Tried to get him to the truth. I was 20. He was maybe about to turn 20. Tried to get him into the truth, kept talking to him about it. he was like, man, what you saying is true, it's right, but, you know, I just love women. I love doing this. I love doing that. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like, stop playing with God. Fast forward a year later, he dies. Well, he got shot in his head. He got killed. He got shot. They was trying to shoot somebody else that he was with. They got in a car and tried to take off, and they just shot up the car. Shot my boy in his head. I'd have known this dude since I was 7 years old. Had another boy that I think around the time I came into the truth or right before I came into the truth, got like 15 years trying to rob a gas station or something. Another boy in and out of jail. Another boy got killed right before I came into the truth. He's like 18. Bro, people I grew up with, like I remember when we played Pop Warner football together. We went to elementary together. We went to middle school together. They're dead. Why would I not celebrate the man, Lord? I could have been one of them. I give all praise to the Most High that you allowed me another year. What are we talking about? People act like we when we celebrate birthdays, we put a shirt on that says "Worship me. It's my day. It's my month. Say happy birthday or die." Peasant. Right, put the candles around me. What do we do? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Even now, watch this. Even sometimes when we do things for the kids, and it seems like it's veering into, well, let's, because, it's their birthday, let's make sure that I'm like, first of all praise to the Most High that he gave them another year, but it ain't their day. That gets corrected anyway. Come on, bro. Come on. It says, let another man praise you. That's not a sin to do. If I want to throw a shindig or a birthday party for Kanag, for Malachiah, for Yahweh, it's not sin. You can't show me in the Bible where it's sin. Watch this. Go to Genesis chapter 21, verse 8. Let me show you something.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 21, and verse 8. And the child grew and was weaned.
So Isaac is weaned from the breast. Come on.
And Abraham made a great feast.
He did what?
Made a great feast.
Bro, they had a whole function for Isaac. Mm-hmm. What did Isaac do for the Lord? Nothing. He got off the titty. He stopped sucking milk from the boob. That's all he did. But that was a milestone. That was an accomplishment. Abraham said, we're going to function for that. Shoot, all praise to the Most High in January if it be his will. I'm going to be 30. We're going to function to that. You know how many people ain't make it to 30? I hate hearing that, though. I was 15. I don't like that. I'm like 30. Ooh. I'm leaving out the 20s. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm feeling away. I ain't even going to hold you. You get over it. I'm going to hold on to 29 for these next 2 months, man. I'm going to hold on to it tight so I can still say I'm in my 20s. I just pray to the Lord that he continue to allow me to age the same so I can at least look 20. Jesus. So Abraham made a whole function, a whole feast, a whole part. Read on. Read that from the top. Read on.
And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast.
A little feast.
The great feast.
It wasn't just a little thing. It was a big function. Come on.
A great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned.
So what do we, was Abraham in sin? Was he wrong? He threw a party for an accomplishment. Come on, bro. Go to 1 Maccabees 14. I'm gonna show you a good one. 1 Maccabees 14. We almost done. We got about 3 more scriptures. 14. Start at verse 43. 1 Maccabees. I'm on 2 Maccabees. I'm tripping. 1 Maccabees 14. Let's read 43 to 49.
This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 14, verse 43. Beside this, that he should be obeyed of every man.
Come on.
And that all the writings of the country should be made in his name. And that he should be clothed in purple and wear gold. Also, that it should be lawful for none of the people or priests to break any of these things.
Come on.
Or to gainsay his words.
Come on.
Or to gather an assembly in the country without him.
Come on.
Or to be clothed in purple.
Come
or
on.
wear a buckle of gold.
Keep going.
And whosoever should do otherwise, or break any of these things, he should be punished. Thus it liked all people to deal with Simon.
Right? So look how they praised Simon. Look at what they did for Simon. Read.
And to do as hath been said. Then Simon accepted hereof, and was well pleased to be high priest.
Now, mind you, he accepted everything that they said. They gave this man so much reverence and praise. They said certain people couldn't wear certain colors. Everything that got signed had to be in his name. You couldn't wear gold. And if you did this, you got DP. If you did this, you got discipline. And then what it says, Simon did what? He accepted everything they gave. Jump back. What did you just read?
43 to 46.
You read to 46? Read 47.
Verse 47. Then Simon accepted hereof, and was well pleased to be high priest, and captain, and governor of the Jews and priests, and to defend them all.
So yeah, it goes back to what we was talking about the other day. He was never a king, but he was a governor. Okay. Read on.
So they commanded that his writings should be put in the tables of brass.
They trying to, what's that word? Preserve his writings. Come on.
And that they should be set up within the compass of the sanctuary.
Where?
In a conspicuous place.
Conspicuous place. A place that's just out there. Like this is Simon stuff right here. Slap it right here in your face. Come on.
Also that the copies thereof should be laid up in the treasury to the end that Simon and his sons might have them.
Go back to chapter 13. Let's jump back a chapter. 13 and verse 51.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 51. And entered into the 23rd day of the second month, and the 171st year, with thanksgiving, and branches of palm trees, and with harps and cymbals, and with viols and hymns and songs, because there was destroyed a great enemy of Israel.
Right, come on.
He ordained also that the day should be kept every year with gladness. Moreover, the hill of the temple that was by the tower he made stronger than it was. And there he dwelt himself with his company. And when Simon saw that John, his son, was a valiant man, he made him captain of all the hosts.
Read verse 50.
Verse 50. Then cried they to Simon, beseeching him to be at one with them, which thing he granted them.
So we see here, this is the, what is it called? The inception of what's called the memorial of Simon. Then you continue on to read verse 14, chapter 14, and it starts going into everything that they did for Simon. Look at the praise and honor that Simon got. We got a whole feast day for Simon, and this is not a day ordained by the Most High God. People can easily argue that. That's not in Leviticus 23. And there was a bunch of wars where our people was being destroyed, or our people was destroying people. We could have had a freaking a feast day based off of one of the other ones, but we did it in commemoration of Simon. Are we worshiping Simon though? Are we celebrating his accomplishments? Now, mind you, on quote unquote birthdays, we ain't telling people you can't wear white, only I can wear white. You can't wear gold, only I can wear gold. You can't do this, only I can do that. That's not even happening. They said, you can't do this, you can't do that. Whatever Simon says is the gospel, and if you go against what he says, we gon' discipline you. And Simon said, I'm with that. And he wasn't sinning. But you tripping off of us celebrating our accomplishments. well, you could celebrate it. You celebrate what accomplishment? The Lord gave me another year. It might not be nothing to you. That's a big deal to me. That's a huge deal to me. I don't know what you talking about. Tobit 8, verse 19. These days not ordained by the Lord. Okay, memorial assignment wasn't ordained by the Lord. I'll give you another one. This wasn't ordained by the Lord either. Go to Tobit chapter 8.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 8,
verse 19.
And verse 19. And he kept the wedding feast 14 days.
There's a whole 14-day wedding feast. The Lord ain't tell you to do that. Look, that's a feast that ain't got nothing to do with the Lord. That got to do with you. And you keeping it for 2. Your wedding and your marriage was only a day. Well, 2 weeks? That ain't biblical. They went through what's called a honeymoon. That ain't biblical. But it ain't a sin either. There's no law that forbids that. What are we talking about? Go to Judges 11. Here's another one. Judges chapter 11. What was the question?
I am not in disagreement with you, but I would like to explain in the book of Job that his 10 children, each one that they celebrated, they were put to death.
So I don't know if you came in late, but if you rewind the class, we sat on the Job scripture, specifically Job 1, from 1 to, 12? We sat on that for probably about 20, maybe 30 minutes. So if you rewind it, it's also on YouTube. From what I'm hearing, you're one of the people on Facebook. It's on YouTube as well. You can rewind it on YouTube, and you'll get the whole explanation of Job. In a nutshell, Job's children were killed because Satan was allowed to test Job and destroy everything around him except him. As it pertains to every person his day, if you look at all the other translations, with the exception of maybe like the ESV and the RSV, some of those newer trash translations that say birthday, but GNT, NLT, all of these other translations don't say birthday. It says every person had a feast on their appointed day. That's all that it was saying. So I gave the example of, if for people in the world, you had Sunday dinners, and it may have been at cousin Larry's house, then it was at Big Mama house, then it was at Yo Mama house, and it was, okay, this month it's at your house, or this week is at your house, then we have it every other week. It's going to be at yours next time, then yours next time. So they were just having feasts where they were coming together and they were eating. It didn't say anything about a birthday. And Job never offered sacrifices because they were giving birth, or because they were celebrating birthdays. Job was giving sacrifices in case during that time of their eating, drinking, and feasting and marrying, somebody may have unintentionally cursed God in their heart. That's what it says in Job chapter 1. But go back and get the full explanation in the actual lesson. You can go rewatch it on YouTube. So Lord willing, that answered the question. Most High willing to answer their question on Facebook. What did I ask for? Judges 11, 34.
This is the book of Judges, chapter 11 and verse 34.
Let's get the context.
And Jephthah came to Mizpah unto his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dances.
Come on.
And she was his only child. Beside her, he had neither son nor daughter.
So what happened? Jephthah he made a vow to the Lord. He said, the first thing that comes to greet me, if you allow me to win this battle, I'm going to sacrifice it to you. That's what happened. First thing he meets that meets him is his daughter. Daughter was hyped. Daughter was happy. He was broken because he said, damn it. Oh, I have to sacrifice you. Now, that's not to say that it was the right thing to do, but this is the time of the judges. And judges, it says every person did that which was right in their own heart. This is what was stated, right? But it wasn't stated anywhere in here that he did wickedly or she did wickedly or anything like that. So he has to sacrifice his daughter. His daughter says, let me mourn for my virginity, and so on and so forth. He said, go ahead. She then comes back, and then she is sacrificed to the Lord. Drop down to verse 40.
Verse 40. That the daughters of Israel
39, Salakia.
And it came to pass at the end of 2 months that she returned unto her father, who did with her according to his vow which he had vowed.
Come on.
And she knew no man.
Come on.
And it was a custom in Israel.
Come on.
That the daughters of Israel went yearly to lament the daughter of Jephthah.
So it was a custom in Israel to lament Jephthah's daughter. So they would go up and commemorate Jephthah's daughter. Read.
Jephthah the Gileadite 4 days in a year.
Salakia, 4 days in a year. So here's the thing. They going up and commemorating her. They going up and giving her honor. They going up and giving her praise. That's wicked. We did to argue about a birthday when a person is giving praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, the water Yahweh, for allowing me another year. I want to celebrate it. You would have to argue about the memorial of Simon. You'd have to argue about Jephthah, because these are yearly commemorations. You'd have to argue that Abraham was wrong because he gave a feast for the milestone of Isaac. Tobias or Tobit, is Tobit the father? I always get them two confused. Tobit's the father, right? Tobias or Tobit was in sin because he allowed Tobias to have a 14-day wedding or a 2-week wedding. That's not biblical. Go to Romans 4.
Where we at?
15.
This is the book of Romans chapter 4 and verse 15. Because the law worketh wrath, for where no law is, there is no transgression.
If there is no law, there is no transgression. If we are not, if the law or now here's the thing, because we teach it a little differently from everyone else. People that say Exodus through Deuteronomy. No, if it ain't from Genesis to Revelation, if we don't see it in the Bible, you can't tell us that is wrong. Christ said, I come in the volume of the book. That's what Christ said. So that's what we rock with. So if we don't see in the Bible anywhere that is wrong, it's not against the law, it's not against the Torah, it's not against the Bible. So for you to sit there and say, y'all still in the world, y'all claim to be in the truth, but y'all. If we decide to have a party for all of the brothers and sisters that were born in January because the Lord allowed us all to have another year, and we said we want y'all to come celebrate with us and turn up, where's the sin in that? Now, here's where it can fall into becoming a sin. When it becomes me, you didn't tell me happy birthday. See, that's why I don't mess with him. He didn't even tell me happy birthday. That's why I don't mess with him. He didn't give me nothing for my birthday. Hey, man, I know everybody in the line right now and I'm in the back, but it's my birthday, so you feel me? When you start to make it you, then it is self-worship. Nobody's arguing that. I agree with anyone who says that wholeheartedly. But there's a difference from self-worship and reverencing God and thanking him for allowing you to see another year and celebrating that. Two completely different things. Now, from what I recall, the one thing that even on birthdays we don't is the candle celebration. The candle on the cake. Let me see. I think I had it up. Here it is. The history of birthday cakes or birthday candles. Artemis candles were considered the first quote-unquote birthday candles. Cake candles continue to be used in other ancient pagan cultures. Pagan cultures believed that fire from lit candles scared away evil spirits, and the smoke from the candles carried prayers to God. So we don't do that. That's pagan. We don't do candles. But if you decide to get a cake, whatever. If you decide to have a party, whatever. You decide to go out to eat, whatever. It's not a sin. It's not against God. It's not against the law. It's not a sin. And the thing is, the reason why I wanted to do this is because a lot of people have asked the question, and I've even gotten, hey, we got to break down on birthdays. Yeah, because such and such was asking about it. They like our classes, but they just like, y'all celebrate birthdays? And I don't be really like knowing how to get into that conversation. Well, now you have a class on it. You got a whole breakdown on it now. All praise to the Most High God. And also because people will be, and it'd be shots. It'd be shots, and it's perfectly fine with me. You claim to be in the truth, but you celebrating birthdays. It don't matter how you flip it around. Call it Happy Brew Day or Happy Me or Happy whatever other words you want to use. It's a birthday. You can't be in this walk. I see your navel and your belly button ring and your little crop top. Come on, sis. Sis, I could tell you don't have a bra on. Your shirt too thin. You worried about us celebrating birthdays. How you in this walking? You wearing booty shorts. You know your tights are see-through. You know that, right? I can see your stretch marks through your shirt. It's too tight. Like let's be real. It's people that sit there and take shots on things that are not law, but I'm like, you're breaking the law of modesty. You're breaking the law of being a talebearer. You breaking the law of having your third husband. He put me away. Well, you're supposed to be single, according to God. You want to talk about what's right and what's wrong, what's wicked and what's righteous, what's Bible. You're supposed to be single or be reconciled to your husband. Well, but see, Deuteronomy 24 says, I can go and be another man. That's not what it's saying. It said an uncleanness was found on you. You can divorce you. He will write you a bill of divorce, and you can go be another man's husband. The another man was the person that the uncleanness was created from. What are you talking about? That don't mean I write you a bill of divorce, go marry somebody else. He writes you a bill of divorce, go marry somebody else. You just got to make sure you don't go back to the old person. It's not what it's talking about. If that's the case, you're a hoe. You're getting past her. The only difference is you a hoe with a pink slip or a hall pass. Somebody's writing you a permission slip. Go be a hoe. Go marry somebody else. I'm tired of you too. Go marry somebody. You're a whore of the daughter of Zion. That's wicked. That's wrong. But you're worried about us celebrating birthdays. You're worried about us celebrating the fact that the Lord gave us another year to live. Let us make it to be a year older, a year wiser. Another year we get to spend with our children. Another year we get to spend with our brothers and sisters. Another year we get to continue to get it right. You mad that we celebrate the fact that he gave us that mercy to be able to have that another year. That's weird. Brothers too. Brothers that be, but you telling sisters that it's okay for them to dress like hoes. Modesty, modesty, that's talking about your spirit. No, nigga, it's talking about your clothes too. Apparel, the word apparel does not mean spirit. Adorn yourselves in modest apparel. Modesty is a spirit. You're an idiot. Modesty is your clothing. Modest apparel. Apparel does not mean your spirit, your attitude. You got hoes that wear hair wraps and dresses and loose clothes too. You're right. And you have hoes that dress like hoes too. Trying to point the finger over there and deflect does not take away from the fact that you're still out of pocket. You still sinning too. Said they sinning too. That's basically what you're saying. That's fine. We know. We see it. We correct that too. But you're sinning too. Why are you doing this when you should be checking yourself? Because pointing the finger is not going to see what's going to happen is the Lord's going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to kill you too. Instead of saying, let me check myself, I'm going to point the finger. God's still going to kill you. Like, what are we doing? That's what they say. But I think we've done a pretty good job of that. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. People still. It's so all praise to the Most High that we doing so well in the spirit that people who try to badmouth us will talk about things that happened 7 years ago, 6 and 7 years ago, under the leadership that these same individuals are still under the leadership of. You can't bring up nothing that we doing now, but when we were young men under bad leadership, not getting the wisest counsel and understanding as far as the spirit and character is concerned, 7, 8 years or 6, 7, 8 years ago, that's what you can bring up. We doing something good, because if you got to dig that deep, I was just becoming a teacher. I just started teaching behind the desk, just started teaching on the streets. That's how long ago that was. I had my precepts when we used to teach on the street. I had a notebook out there like this. Like, we doing pretty good. If you got to bring up insignificant things like y'all celebrate birthdays, or if you got to dig in the vault for things that brothers did under wicked leadership, all praise to the Most High. We must be doing something right. All praises. I pray to the Most High that the lesson was edifying. I pray to the Lord that there's some understanding that was given as it pertains to celebrating your birth, celebrating the fact that the Lord's allowed you another year, celebrating what people call birthdays. It's not against the Bible. It's not a sin to do so. It becomes a sin when you start to make it a sin, when you start to make the day about you. It's my birthday, birth week, birth month. It's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. But to give reverence to the Lord, all praise to the Most High for another year. I want to say happy birthday to my boy, whoop-de-whoop. The Lord gave him another year, or happy brew day. A lot of our brothers say that now. Happy brew day. The Lord done blessed this man with another year. Whoop-de-whoop. That's not wicked. That's not pagan. That's not in the world. Honor that man. Give praise to that man, especially if he's a good man. The Lord done blessed this good brother with another year. If that's the case, it's pagan to have freaking wedding anniversaries. Happy anniversary to my husband. That's not ordained in the Bible. Show me in the Bible where you can celebrate anniversaries. Come on, bro. So I pray to the Most High that there was some edification given. I hope that there was some understanding. If you celebrate your birth or your loved one's birth, as long as you don't make it about them, but it's honor, glory, and reverence to the Most High God for their life, you're not in transgression. It's not a sin. Don't let anyone lie to you and tell you that it's a sin. When they say cursed was the day I was born in Jeremiah, they take that out of context. We broke that down. When they use Genesis and Matthew, when we're talking about Herod's birthday and Pharaoh's birthday, that's irrelevant. We talked about that too. We broke that down too. Job scripture, which everyone goes to, clearly they don't read Job. You break down Job just reading the verses there, and you will see that these people are wrong. They're incorrect. And then we also went into just understanding what most Israelites, I don't know what other people do. I can only speak for what we do. Giving praise to brothers that are here in righteousness for being able to be here for another year, to be in this walk with us. And it's a milestone. All praise to the Most High. Brothers are reaching these milestones. And it's not a sin to celebrate it. So I pray to the Lord that it was some edification given. I hope that y'all got some understanding. I hope that it made sense. I'm hoping that the scriptures made sense. I'm hoping that the breakdown made sense. I give all praises, honor, and glory. Call all Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Y'all make sure to tune in tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is I think 4 p.m. Central time. Bishop Yazaquel, War for the Kingdom. His classes, I believe, are only live on Facebook. Tap into that. Every first Monday, Bible Q&A. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with us on that. Every Tuesday, Bible Basics. Every Wednesday. Let me see your mic. This one sounds like keep going out. Every first Monday, we have Q&A. So the first Monday of the month, which is actually next week, we got Bible Q&A. Or not next week. Not this Monday, the following Monday. will be Bible Q&A. Every single Tuesday, Bible Basics. Every single Wednesday, World History According to the Bible. Every Thursday, every second and fourth Thursday, Stick to the Script. Every single Friday, we got a lineup. My brother Yashamai, the Blue Strip, always got some heat in that class. Room 144, the main class, the main Friday night class, the opening Sabbath class, followed by my class, Sound Doctrine, with myself and my brother Yahweh. Every Saturday, we have War for the Kingdom, Bishop Yazaquel, and Feed the, I was going to say room 144 again. Feed the Sheep with Bishop Tazayuman. We got spiritual food for you all week. We trying to feed your spirit all week. So y'all make sure y'all tuning in, y'all tapping in, y'all sharing the classes, because give us this day our daily bread. We trying to give y'all that daily bread. And if you guys have any inquiries, make sure you guys reach out to us. reply@truenation.org. If you want to become a member, if you have inquiries about becoming a member, if you have biblical questions that maybe nobody has been able to answer, or that you haven't been able to get a response from individuals, we respond to people all the time. Hit us up, True Nation Los Angeles on Instagram. You can inbox us on True Nation Instagram, True Nation Israelite Congregation on Facebook. We have our email, reply@truenation.org. We have a phone number, but I don't know the phone number. The phone number is on the website, truenation.org. Go to the website. You can reach out to us that way as well. So hit us up. Reach out to us. We out there trying to save souls. If you're trying to inquire whether or not we have a congregation in your city, or if you want to be the first fruits of the congregation of your city, hit us up. We trying to save souls. And if you want to join the ministry, get boots to the ground, or if you want to give to the ministry, let us know. All praise to the Most High. We love y'all, Israel. We hope that this was edifying. We give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God. Lord willing, we see y'all tomorrow. Tune in to War for the Kingdom, and tune in to Feed the Sheep tomorrow. Shalom, family. Much love.